Alright. For whatever reason, I have found a million things to do that do not involve making a recruitment video for my slowly rotting from within slash from outside GTA 4 Cops and Robbers crew. Now, obviously, I'm sure many of you guys are familiar. I wouldn't be surprised if a handful of you guys watching this have actually driven for us or currently drive for us. Problems are abound. We've had people that have just stop playing Xbox. That's actually probably the majority. People just grow out of this stuff. Obviously, we don't. We're still children, apparently, which is okay. And the other problem is people switch games and they don't buy GTA 4. I mean, this is a problem back when GTA 5 came out. Everyone, myself included, thought that it would be basically a bigger and better version of GTA 4 with all that wonderful car handling, even though the trailers suggested it would be otherwise. We overlooked it anyway. And some people were so sold on this, they traded in or sold 4 to buy 5, which was a humongo mistake in terms of driving quality and handling physics. Stupid idea. And that's another problem. So a lot of people that traded in 4 for 5, they don't usually go back to 4 because, why would you go to an inferior game? As you can see, we're of the school of thought that, above all, it says GTA 4's handling is probably the best in the series. It's challenging for most cars, at least, and it's got, as we would say, a touch of realism, just enough for it to be interesting and challenging without it choking fun out of the gameplay. I mean, I think of Gran Turismo 4 when I see realism choking the fun out of a game. I mean, you get really tired of driving those shit boxes for early on. So anyway, you're probably wondering what this recruitment video is about. The short answer is I want you to drive for LSCR or LCCR. Yeah, I want you to drive for LCCR, which stands for Liberty City Cops and Robbers. We have a decent variety of vehicles, more than you may think, because we play on the original now, mainly because there was a falling out between myself and some not so good individuals in the crew. And, when I gave them the boot, that also removed our ability to spawn cars and the ballot and all that good stuff. I mean, but that's another story. Now, you may be wondering, in GTA 4, why? Why the original? Why the original? Well, it's the most stable of them. There are less glitches, and it's got a good selection for what it is, especially when you realize that we play in GTA Race. Now, you may or may not be familiar why. Well, GTA Race lets you drive cars like the FIB Buffalo, the Police Patrol, the News Patriot, and yes, even the standard toilety LCPD Crown Vic, the marked one with the vector bar. You try doing this in free mode, Crown Vics. You try doing it in deathmatch, Crown Vics. It doesn't matter. There's no selection. There's no fun in the driving. It's not right. It's not right at all. And it was something I'll never forget that when I first saw the idea to do it in GTA Race. It was a long time ago, back when on the PS3 there was LCES or something, and that was interesting. And I got that idea from them. So it was weird too, because I remember when I first saw the video, the leader was standing there. They had one of his buddies pull up in a police patrol. I'm like, what the hell? Is this free mode? I was like, no, it's not free mode. We're actually doing this in GTA Race because we can drive all these cool cars. And what's nice about GTA Race, we have the weapons set to pistols, so it spawns pistols and it has health packs as well. So both the police and the robbers can fix their cars if need be, and also get weapons in case there's going to be / is a shootout. It's very interesting. And so, if you haven't watched some of my GTA 4 chase videos with my crew, that way you can get a feel for what you're getting into, because, I mean, the members that we have left here have been with us forever. Like, ever since I started this in probably 2009, 2010. So, obviously, if you're still interested at this point, I'll be amazed if you are. There are roughly 4, maybe 5 classes of vehicles, depending on which game you play in. And at this rate, it's gonna be the original. So yeah, there are 4 classes. There's the light units. These are the beloved FIB Buffaloes, known for their speed and maneuverability, and also known for their quick and relatively painful deaths when you start smashing things with them. These cars are important, though. You need these cars. I mean, if you want to be making contact a lot and driving on the razor's edge and always in the action, the light units are for you. I mean, whenever I drive an FIB Buffalo, I'm right up there in the front. I'm no further back than the third car in the chases. I'm always right up in the action. It's fun. You get to coordinate with other units. You get to smash the ever-living crap out of the robber vehicle and dodge predatory traffic. Not predatory traffic spawns, I just mean traffic that doesn't like us, which is usually fun. So, But what if you don't like having to get a health pack every 4 or 5 good hits with your FOB Buffalo? Well, enter the medium units. These are the Police Patrol and the Crown Vic, both of which are the marked units with the V bar, the red and white vector light bar. And they're both decent cars. I mean, at the very, very least, they're both more durable than the FOB Buffalo, especially the Crown Vics. Oh my God, Impalas do pretty well too, and the Impala is narrower, or rather, the Police Patrol is narrower than the FOB Buffalo, and it's stronger. So not only do you have better damage resistance, but you can avoid damage better to begin with, and has a little bit more ground clearance. Same thing with the Crown Vic. So they're not quite as quick in a straight line, and they're not quite as darty and nimble. But they represent, at least to me, the best balance. I mean, you ever wonder why you see a lot of police patrols, and in some of the later ones, news cruisers in our chases, because they're very, very good. I mean, you have the benefits of a heavier vehicle without the disadvantages of a really heavy vehicle. But let's say you do want a heavier vehicle. Let's say you want to just, flip the robber vehicle over or put his engine on to black smoke in 2 to 3 hits. Then the heavy units are for you, and for our purposes, it'll be the News Patriot, which is awesome. Although at least for me, it's difficult to drive. It's got a wide turning radius, and as with anything large, you want to coordinate with other units because its friendly fire incidents do not end well. It's painful. I've seen more than a fair share of units killed just by Patriots getting juked, or even Crown Vics and patrols getting juked and nailing the Buffaloes. But it's a rewarding role. It's really, really fun. I don't drive the Patriot often, but there are drivers in us with our crew that know what they're doing. Nighthawk 6187, Wise Vader, and then to a lesser degree myself and HK Viper. So those are just some of the members. There's also the ambulance as well. I mean, the ambulance is a little bit better for blocking things as opposed to hitting things because it's nowhere near as strong as the Patriot, which is interesting, but not at all surprising as well at the same time. And it's not as quick. It's not as quick out of the hole, and it's not as quick at speed. But what it is, however, is long and wide. You can do improvised roadblocks with it, basically. It's not bad. And it's somewhat maneuverable. It's not like the Enforcer and the Stockade, which are all kinds of difficult to handle. I mean, not that they're not fun and useful, but it's a lot harder. Now, let's say for whatever reason the heavy unit still is not good enough for you. Well, then there's the super heavy, which in this case is the fire truck, which is fantastic because it's quicker than the ambulance, it's heavier, it's less maneuverable, but it can put out fires, and it's stronger, and it hits harder. It's in a lot of ways it's probably the best compromise heavy unit because you get the hitting power of bigger things like the Enforcer and the Stockade, but you're faster than them, and you can put out fires. I mean, it's basically like an ambulance with the ability to destroy things as well. It's an ambulance for vehicles because think about it, if you're in the middle of a chase. And you have cars like the Police Patrol or a News Patriot or an FOB Buffalo. In GTA race, these cars don't really spawn anywhere. I mean, even in multiplayer in general, these cars don't spawn in free mode normally. You have to spawn them in with some very useful modding software / tools, which obviously we don't have, at least not yet. And so there we are. You have a rough idea as to what the roles are and what they do, and for obvious reasons, the heavier your vehicle is, the further back of the pursuit you usually are, because, I mean, yeah, the fire truck may be able to outrun people in a straight line, but, a news cruiser, not news cruiser, I keep saying that, but we don't have access to those normally, but an FOB Buffalo or a Police Patrol, or even a News Patriot will always take corners faster and tighter than a fire truck will, and then an ambulance will, and so on and so on. So now that you have an idea as to what we do, hopefully, feel free to send my name, NYSP Unit 15, a message and/or friend request, and we'll go from there. And if you know what role you want to be, go ahead and include it in the message you send to me. If not, then I'm sure we can figure it out. So there you have it. It's a very half-assed recruitment video for GTA 4 LCCR. Hope to be hearing from all you